Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. After the defeat of Frieza, peace was finally restored back to the whole entire universe. Shortly afterwards, Vegeta would then leave on his own, as Vegeta is going on his own path to find his own power. Bulma was very concerned though, as she was worried about Vegeta's health and safety. So, over the next couple of months, there would have been peace and quiet, as no one really questioned why Vegeta would have left. But now Bulma would then meet up with Goku, telling him that, listen, she's worried about Vegeta. She would go herself, but she's afraid to, and she can't leave for business. So she asked Goku to go find him. Maybe Goku's the only one that can kind of persuade Vegeta, nobody else could. Goku was kind of like, I don't want to go, but he decides to. If Vegeta needs his help, he will go help him. Goku would then get in one of the spaceships that Bulma has, and he would then fly off. It was another replica of the same one that Vegeta took. Now, following Vegeta's last coordinates, Goku would begin traveling for the next few days. It would then turn into a week of traveling. Goku would then finally land on a strange meteor, as it was almost the size of a planet, but not fully there. Goku would then see that Vegeta's spaceship was there, but it was destroyed. Goku would then look around, and he couldn't sense Vegeta's power at all. He feared the worst, of Vegeta dying. Then look around, but he doesn't see anything of dead bodies or nothing. He doesn't see anything. What he does see is that there was landing marks, that other three ships have landed and picked something up. Goku could just feel that something happened. Goku would then try looking around, seeing if anything else could help. He was really confused. Goku's not the smartest tool in the shed. But he would then ask Bulma, who would have a camera and follow him. He would then explain that somebody must have arrived and grabbed Vegeta, because laying on the ground was a body imprint on the dust of the ground, and there was blood on it. And Goku could just kind of tell that, okay, this must be Vegeta. Maybe he was hurt, or somebody attacked him maybe. He doesn't know. Goku would then leave, and he would then try searching for Vegeta's power the best he could, maybe trying to find a way. Goku began bouncing around planet to planet. Most of them were uninhabited, a few of them were, but they were just odd creatures and whatnot. Goku would then begin looking around more. He couldn't find him, until Goku would then arrive on a strange planet that was far off. The planet was heavily gassed and was heavily dangerous. He would then land and look out. It was known as Planet Vampa. Goku would then begin looking around, as he was really confused about the fact of where he was. This planet was very plain and very dirty, but he can sense a lot of power hidden in here. He can feel it. He doesn't really know where, as it's moving around. Goku would then begin walking around. Then a massive creature would then fly out. This creature was massive, almost worm-like with fur, and the face of like a cat or a dog, known as Ba. Ba was missing a part of his ear, as he would then try biting Goku, which Goku would then dodge the attacks. Goku would then kick him right in the face, and it would knock the creature over, as the creature would then recoil away. Goku wasn't trying to hurt it, as it was just defending itself. But then a massive power would then fly in, and it would then hit Goku full force. Goku would then be launched all the way back, hitting through a few pillars, as it was Broly. Broly was mad that Goku would hurt Ba, as Ba was not his friend for a long time, although Ba was his only friend. Recently, ever since Paragus shot his ear off, Ba ever since then has been really aggressive, but Broly has been able to kind of been near Ba. Remembers him. He's not going to have somebody attacking him. Goku would then get up, and he was shocked to see that it was maybe another Saiyan maybe? He doesn't know. He would then get into a fighting stance, as then somebody would then stop. Goku would then turn around, and he would see and walk up, and it was Paragus. This would then tell Goku he apologized for attacking him, but Broly is very fond of that creature. Goku says, "Who are you?" And Paragus says, "My name, Paragus." And then he would then look at Goku again, kind of glancing at him. He would then tell him, "That you, Bardock? No, that can't be you. The scar on your face is not even there. Are you an offspring?" Goku would be confused, asking what does he mean. Paragus would then put a finger to his chin. He's like, "No, that's impossible. Bardock just left a little bit ago." And then Paragus would then tell Goku to come with him immediately. As Broly would then be right behind them, Goku was more surprised with how strong Broly was. Paragus was meh, he was kind of mediocre, but Broly, he's never been hit that hard by something. It was even stronger than Frieza for that split moment. They would then arrive, and it was almost like a lab area. It was almost like a living quarters. It was domed off, having some scenery and some small plants, but not much, as it seemed like people had been living here for years. Goku would then look around and be very confused. Goku would then see more Saiyans. Some of them were children as well. They would then run up to Goku, seeing his tail, they would then be surprised that it was another Saiyan, and he looks just like Bardock. Goku doesn't know who this Bardock is, but it seems like he looks like him, offspring. And then, some of these older Saiyans, a little bit older of age, but you can't tell since they don't age till they're 80, they would then be surprised, and they instantly thought that this was Bardock for just a split moment. But then it clicks in their head, as this is not Bardock. That has to be Kakarot. Goku was surprised, as only Vegeta and Raditz, one guy, has ever called him that name. He doesn't get it. As then, out from the bushes, or you could say from the door, be a man who would then walk out. His name was Bardock. Back on planet Vegeta, Bardock and a crew of the Saiyans actually survived Frieza's onslaught. Bardock would then look in shock. As shock, but then realization. As Bardock has had visions about potentially meeting his son, but he didn't know that it would happen this soon. He thought maybe it was in the afterlife or one other day. Bardock would then put his hand out, grab his son, hugging him for the first time. Goku was completely confused, doesn't know why this guy that looks like him's hugging him. Bardock would then tell him who he is, that he's his father. Bardock would then tell his son to please come in, please. Bardock would explain that once when they all stood up to Frieza all those years ago in their Great Ape state, they were able to push back the supernova and turn into a second form of time. But unfortunately, the power that Frieza threw back launched them all back to the planet, but they were able just in time. Frieza would then fly in to try and destroy all the spaceships before some would then fly off. I was able to escape with Gine and 2 other Saiyans. A few other Saiyans were able to escape as well. There were 12 of us Saiyans total, and more, that were able to escape. All lucky to be able to make it. All of us would then fly all the way to a random planet, not know where we're going. That was over 25 years ago. Now you are here. He knew that he survived. Bardock would then explain that the rest of the Saiyan Empire is dead. All of it's gone. It went into hiding because I knew that I could see things from the future. I was given a curse almost by this alien species that I dominated years ago. They gave me the power to see into the future, foresight in a way. And I was able to see that you defeated Frieza, and I did not want to tamper with that history. I knew that we had to stay hidden, keep it all quiet. Goku was in amazement. He never thought all these Saiyans were all around him. He felt almost at home. He asked, well, how are they able to survive? That planet was very barren. Bardock said it was hell at first. All these bug creatures and the giant furry monsters were all around. They then met Paragus and Broly. They were already on planet Vegeta by this point, and they already landed. They were surviving. Time, we did venture out, but only I was able to. I was able to conceal my power level. The other Saiyans were not able to yet. I was able to sneak around and be able to collect things here and there that were left in storage on other planets by Frieza. No one gave it a second thought. Because of the fact that since Saiyans were completely destroyed, those were the soldiers of the army, and Frieza had to find more soldiers, so they were too occupied. I was able to sneak in and take a lot of storage containers and other survival items and bring it back to Planet Vampa without nobody noticing. Surprised Goku. Goku was pretty much in sensory overload. Everything was happening around him so quickly. Bardock would then grab his shoulder, and he was so proud of his son. He can sense how strong Goku is, and the fact that he knew that he defeated Frieza. Felt it. As soon as Goku smited down Frieza, Bardock felt the jolt of power hit him. He knew that Goku became the legendary Super Saiyan and stopped Frieza. Bardock says that there's somebody that wants to see you. Goku was confused as in the door would open, and it was Gine, Goku's mother. She survived as she was one of the only other ones that left with Bardock in that time. Tears would then well up as she would then run towards her son, her youngest baby, and hug him. Goku's never felt this before. He's never really had a mother. But Goku almost cried himself as he hugged his mother back. Gine would then touch his hair and state how much he's grown. He looks so much like his father. She's so sorry that they weren't there for his childhood, as they couldn't go near Earth because they were afraid that along the way, Frieza could have picked up on them or more, and they could have ruined everything. It was safer just to let him grow on that planet. And she was so proud of him. They would then want to know all about Goku's life, because he's a grown man. Goku would then sit there and tell them all the story about his whole life, from when he was a child to Grandpa Gohan, all the way to beating Frieza. The Saiyans were in awe, and Bardock knew. There was no surprise. His son was incredible. Goku would then state that he actually left originally to go find Vegeta, as for some reason, if it wasn't for his help, they all left back to Earth, but then Vegeta left on his own, for some reason, and he went missing for a few months, so his wife Bulma, or girlfriend, sent me out to go find him. Well, Bardock would then explain that we actually found Vegeta. We found him as he nearly died trying to destroy a planet-sized meteor, and it nearly killed him. But we did find him, and he is unconscious right now, but he is recovering. We don't have the healing containers that we do have, but some of the medicines that we do collect actually do help out, and we're able to reproduce it. But it does take a longer time. He's been unconscious for the past 3 days. But we were able to fill him in, so he's not going to freak out when he wakes up. He was still semi-conscious. That prince has more stubbornness and pride than I've ever seen anyone else have, even more than his father. Bardock would never mention what actually happened between him and Vegeta's father. You know that they fought originally. Goku would then see that Vegeta was bandaged up, laying on a medical bed, and he was out cold. Goku would then be comforted knowing that everything was okay. Goku would then bring the ship right over there with everybody else, and he would then inform Bulma about what's all happening. Bulma was amazed. There was more Saiyans, more than Goku? That kind of concerned her food bill a little bit, as long as you're staying there. But she would then explain, is Vegeta okay? Goku would say, yes, he's alive and he's okay, he's recovering. And then Goku would then offer the Saiyans, telling them, well, Frieza's dead. Why don't you all come towards Earth if you want? It's very peaceful there, it's not as dangerous, and it's much safer there too. It's very beautiful. I would love for you guys to come and be a part of my family. Now all the Saiyans were considering it, but Bardock was made the leader. Since he did defeat King Vegeta in hand combat, he did, Bardock was also kind of like the soldier leader ahead. Now we all know that Broly is the strongest here, we can't throw that one out there, but Broly really respects Bardock. Bardock was almost like a second father to Broly, teaching him how to control his power over time. Now Bardock's no spring chicken either. Bardock's been training and keeping up strong. Bardock's not weak. Bardock could definitely throw hands with First Form Frieza, no problem. In his Great Ape state, he can definitely fight Second Form Frieza, just for a little power gauge for Bardock. That's very impressive. But Bardock's been doing more mentoring and teaching and surviving than training. Then offer all of them. As while his space pod can't really fit everybody, he can take a few trips and bring them. As he has an idea, maybe he'll stay here for the week. Bulma can send another ship, she has another one, all the way over here, and it'll have another supplies, and it'll have capsules. Maybe they can use that, and then they can all hop on both ships, and they can fly on back home. The Saiyans would agree, and then a week later, all the Saiyans would then transport all the way to Earth, bringing everything that they do have. It was sad for Broly the most, because Broly's gonna miss Ba, and he promises that he'll be back one day. Promises. They would then all leave, all arriving on Earth over a week later. All the other Z fighters were waiting outside. Now Vegeta has fully recovered by this point, and Vegeta was kind of filled in on some stuff, and Vegeta's just kind of like, get out of my way. But he's trying to kind of keep quiet on it, as then, once when they're stepped outside, when things were finally settled in, the Saiyans don't really know where they're going to go, as they don't really have many places to be at. But for temporarily, Bulma has plenty of rooms for the Saiyans to bed up in, until maybe they'll find a village up where Goku lives, as it's secluded and is very peaceful. And the Saiyans would agree that's a safer idea. Also, Bardock and Gine want to be closer to Goku. Goku has a perfect place. Oh yeah, we can just start building up there at Mount Paozu. We can start building a village up there, where my grandpa lived. That's a perfect idea. So they would begin doing that, and over the next week, there was a problem. Vegeta thinks that he needs to be the king. Because, in rightfully honor, Vegeta is the prince of all Saiyans. He believes that he needs to be the king, since around no more, and they have over 30 Saiyans, including Goku and Vegeta and them. He needs to be the king. Now, he would have to challenge Bardock, and that's what he's been doing verbally, until Bardock has had enough of his mouth. Now this is when two Saiyans will begin going at it. Now Vegeta has gotten a good Zenkai boost, but he is still actually weaker than Bardock. Vegeta didn't really get massive Zenkais by that point. He did get his potential unlocked, and that made him roughly around 200 to 300,000. Now Bardock's been concealing his power this whole time. Now Goku by this point has gotten stronger himself, but we'll cut to that one later. Bardock here has a power level of around 600,000. Vegeta has a power level of around 350,000. Broly, no one knows. Once Vegeta would try fighting Bardock, Bardock clearly outclassed Vegeta easily in skill and in power. He would then tell him that he's not a king of anybody, nor is he some type of demanding force. He's just somebody that is helping to help the group lead, not some type of royal king that everybody needs to pamper to. He's no different than anybody else. Just unfortunately, that everyone else is looking up to Bardock for help. Now, Vegeta having his pride shattered for the third time, he would then say, you know, whatever, I don't need to be the king of Saiyans to prove that I'm the strongest. He would then begin still living under Bulma, training in the gravity room, different. All the Saiyans would be moved to Mount Paozu as they would begin building the homes. As it was easy, Bulma helped them by having the capsules to where they can spawn their own houses. And they would then do that, living there in peace. Goku was beyond happy. As then, it would then be months and months of peace. Till a young man would then appear from the future. Now this young man Trunks will be from the same timeline as the original, as it would confuse things a bit too much here. Trunks would then cut forward, as he was strange why Goku did not land in the desert wasteland. He would then find Goku's home, and he would sense a lot of powers nearby, a lot of power levels. He would then meet up with Goku, and the first thing he sees is that he has a tail. Trunks has never seen Saiyans with a tail before. Thinks that's a bit weird. Going back, change it that much? Now Gohan was with Goku as well, and Gohan's been training too, keeping his training up. And don't forget about Gohan. Now Piccolo's actually been nearby as well, as he doesn't really have much else to go, but Gohan's his friend. As Piccolo's even made some friends with some of the Saiyans as well, as Piccolo's been helping them out the best he could. Now, with Gohan continuing to train, Trunks would then be surprised to see that there's so much that has changed. After Trunks would then introduce himself, they would have the same back and forth conversation as last time, and even turning Super Saiyan. Now, all the Saiyans would then want to go see this, as Goku during this time, he has learned to control it himself over the last couple of months to even year, as without Yarjat training, he didn't really learn this in transmission and such, but we're not going down that road. He was able to learn how to control it, before he had to be really angry. Now, this is when Trunks here would then turn into a Super Saiyan. Vegeta and the others would be there as well. Everybody was watching. So it was like a group of like 40 people nearby watching in the distance. Goku would then turn into a Super Saiyan as well. He would have a little clash just like last time. Trunks would then tell Goku about the androids appearing in 3 years' time. It became the heart medicine, and then Trunks would then be on his way. Now, everybody was confused. Piccolo would then explain the situation without revealing too much, such as Trunks being Vegeta and Bulma's son, and etc, etc. All the Saiyans would say, well, we can all try and train ourselves and make sure we're protected. Now, the Saiyans were all strong in their own right. Over the last couple of years, with Bardock pushing them, they have power levels between around 10 to around 30,000. It's pretty impressive, but nothing crazy. Goku then wonders if maybe he can try and teach them to become super. That'd be kind of interesting. Goku would try his best with that. And Bardock would state that, well, unfortunately, it would be too hard for him to catch up, but getting stronger won't hurt. So, with Bulma's help, they would then have their own gravity machine. And Goku would begin training the Saiyans on his own, teaching them techniques of Earth, as the Earthlings have a lot of interesting techniques. Now, all the Saiyans were learning. Gohan was actually the most happy. He has a lot of friends. As there was around 4 to 5 Saiyan children, they would all play around with Gohan, and Gohan would train with them. Gohan was actually very happy, because they're all similar to his age. A few of them are a couple years older than him, and some of them are around 10 to 16 years old, teenagers. So Gohan is really happy. He's actually one of the stronger ones, too. Most of the training would go similar, as Goku's real intense training would be with Piccolo and Gohan, and even Bardock will probably jump in there too, because he wants to make sure that his son's safe. Now, some of the other Saiyans could potentially jump in, and Vegeta's doing his own thing. 3 years would then pass, as Cell would finally. Now, we know that Cell originally, he kind of killed Trunks, took the time machine, went back to the past to regrow, as we know that that's how they found that embryo first of Cell when he was in like his first stage. Now, that's still going to be happening, so Cell is still around there somewhere within that current time frame. But now, since 3 years have passed, Dr. Gero and Android 19 would still appear. Now, remember, they only took DNA samples, so they do have a lot of the Saiyans, but that doesn't really change nothing because they don't have Frieza nor King Cold. Since Frieza and King Cold did not arrive on Earth, the little spy robot never went to Namek. So, the androids are not as powerful as they originally were. As Goku was definitely the strongest, but it's not a massive difference. The androids will roughly be similar in strength, but Cell would be a little bit weaker. Not by massive margin, but just a little bit. As then, once when Dr. and Android 19 appear, Goku would then fly in, as BARDOCK would then land next to his son. Now, once when Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan, he would then begin attacking the Android 19. He was mopping the floor with him, but then Goku begins having a heart virus that was destroying his power. The Super Saiyan transformation only amplified it, thus making Goku succumb to the heart virus. He would then be out of the commission. They would then take the medicine, and some Saiyans would then take Goku away to begin keeping him safe. Now, we know that originally the Saiyan place is near Mount Paozu. Now, the androids don't know exactly where that is. They do know about Goku's house and Master Roshi's home, not Mount Paozu. So the Saiyans are hidden up there in the bamboo forest. That's where they'll keep Goku very safe. So the Saiyans, and some of these Saiyans are doctors too, from Planet Vegeta, have the best knowledge. They would then keep Goku safe by basically making sure that he's under the best care, keeping him the medicine. Now, Vegeta would then be arriving as he wasn't late this time, and Vegeta would have turned into a Super Saiyan as he was able to unlock his power on his own. Now, this is when BARDOCK would then also cut in, tell him to make sure to stay out of his way, as it was BARDOCK's turn first. Vegeta, as a Saiyan, knows to stay out of another's way, until he realized that BARDOCK can also turn into a Super Saiyan himself. Goku taught BARDOCK how to do this. BARDOCK, being a genius, just like how Goku is, it seems to run in the family. Well, I don't see why BARDOCK is not able to turn to a Super Saiyan. And he also turned to a Super Saiyan in the fan episode. But Dr. Gero will be in some trouble. Android 19 will be destroyed by BARDOCK. Vegeta is going to go feast on Dr. Gero first. Now, Dr. Gero would use the dust of the rocks to get away, but he did lose both one of his arms, was able to barely escape. Piccolo was about to stop him originally, but Dr. Gero was barely and narrowly able to escape. Now, Vegeta would find him nearby, and before the other Saiyans could then arrive to stop him as well, Dr. Gero would then state that these two androids that I have, they are far stronger than you could ever imagine. You can never beat them, if you could try. Remember, he's messing with Vegeta's pride. Vegeta would tell him, as a matter of fact, I will allow you to unlock these robots. I'm a Super Saiyan. I'm the Prince of all Saiyans. I'm the king of the Saiyans. They can't match me in power. BARDOCK would then stop him, telling him, what the hell are you doing? You cannot let him unlock these androids. Trunks would then try to intervene as well, telling him that no, he will not let this happen. And before he could do it, Vegeta would then turn Super Saiyan and then kick Trunks right in the neck, knocking Trunks through a few rock pillars, knocking him out of commission temporarily. BARDOCK's not going to let the future be destroyed, as he had visions during the past 3 years of these androids killing everybody if they allow this. He would then begin charging up his power. In anger, terror would then rise. It would shock Vegeta, as BARDOCK turned into a Super Saiyan as well. He would then fly in, delivering a powerful gut punch to Vegeta, stunning the Prince. As the two began trading blows back and forth, BARDOCK and Vegeta's power level were roughly similar. Vegeta was able to catch up quickly because of gravity training and the motivation that he had. But BARDOCK was still a little bit ahead of power. But unfortunately, Vegeta would then fire a Big Bang attack, but it was too late. The androids were then unlocked. Once when Android 17 and 18 and Android 16 would then arrive after killing Dr. Gero, they were not pure evil like the original ones were. This is the normal timeline androids. Vegeta would then get in front of Android 18's way and begin fighting her. BARDOCK would then take his turn as Android 17 wants to fight that old guy. As remember, BARDOCK looks just like Goku. The androids would then see BARDOCK and they would then think that that's actually Goku. Android 16 then cuts in saying that he's fighting Goku, but he seems a bit different. He would then ask, "Are you Goku?" It's "No, I'm BARDOCK." The androids think that he's lying. The facial, everything, it looks identical to Goku. They wouldn't care anyway, as they would then fly in, as they do know that from the database that it potentially is one of the Saiyans that arrived on the Earth, but in reality, they're not going to realize it. It looks like Goku enough. It must be. And he can turn to a Super Saiyan too, one of those Super Saiyan thingies. It has to be. So this is when Android 17 would then go up, as Android 16 will sit back until he's needed. He has a feeling that that is not Goku, as he knows Goku's database more seriously than Android 17 and 18. They think it is. Android 16 doesn't think it is Goku. He looks similar, maybe a father or an offspring, not Goku. Android 17 began fighting Super Saiyan Bardock, and Bardock would fare actually pretty well against Android 17. Android 17 was stated to be stronger than 18. Bardock still was stronger than Vegeta. He was actually able to hold his own pretty well until the androids went full power. They would then overpower Bardock and Vegeta, and the two would be defeated. Now, they were not killed, as the androids are not killers. Android 16 would then tell them no, spare them, as they are not Goku. Tells them that. States that Goku is currently somewhere else. He knows it. They then state, well, even if it was Goku, I guess it'll be fun just to beat him up and then we can fight him again next time for fun. Let's just go anyway. But if you're wrong, we might attack you too. Androids would then go off on their own to go play around and goof off, causing a little bit of mayhem here and there. Now, after giving the Sensu Bean, they were then all recovered. Vegeta's pride was shattered. Bardock was irritated that he lost. These androids are incredibly strong. He knows that his son needs to be brought back. His son needs to be healed up enough so he can destroy these damn androids. Over time, we know that this is when Piccolo would then leave, flying up to go meet Kami. He would then fuse with Kami just like before, and Piccolo would then go down to go fight Android 17. Now, whoa. Piccolo never fused with Nail, so is he not as strong as he used to be? Well, the thing with Piccolo is the fact that Piccolo here is still very strong. Remember here that Piccolo is still friends with Goku and everybody else. The fact that he's been training for years and years and years with Goku, with a higher motivation, and Goku stronger too, with the gravity, definitely think that Piccolo can catch up really quick. So Piccolo is roughly around the same power level as he was last time. Meeting Android 17, the two would have a great battle, fighting each other back and forth. Android 17 would then actually respect Piccolo, as Piccolo was actually really strong. Now this is when, unfortunately, Cell would then appear. Once when Cell appears, he would then attack Piccolo, overpowering him since he was already tired. Android 17 was about to be absorbed before Android 16 would then cut in, attacking Cell just in time. Now, as we know that during this time, unfortunately, Cell would then use the solar flare technique, and he would then absorb Android 17. Now we know that with Krillin and Android 18, Bro was out there looking for the wifey. He would then destroy the remote, as now they just lost another option to destroy the androids, so Krillin was simping over Android 18. He pulled anyway. If he didn't, he was the most hated character in the entire community. Krillin destroyed the remote. Second form Cell would begin looking around everywhere all day long for Android 18 and Android 16, as even Tien would then attack Cell to try and stop him. A few other Saiyans would then try jumping in too to distract Cell, helping out Tien, firing the most powerful attack that they have. Now, Cell would find this cute, as it did irritate him. Tien was menace back then. He would then swat them out of his way. Unfortunately, luckily, they were all able to survive. Thank goodness. Cell would begin looking around more and more. During this time, they would know about the Room of Spirit and Time. Vegeta would then go in there with Trunks, and he would begin training. Now, Goku has fully recovered by this point, and he was able to get ready to go in the Room of Spirit and Time. Now, Bardock did offer to go in there with Goku, but Goku wants to go in there with Gohan. And Bardock knows exactly what he's talking about. Bardock then says that he had visions of this boy. He might have been a bit older. Goku explains that his son has more potential than even he does. The fact that he can grow so strong is crazy. Now, whoa. What about Broly? Wouldn't Paragus not make Broly attack Vegeta? Well, over the years of Bardock talking to Paragus would kind of drop his hatred for Vegeta, and he feels like King Vegeta got what's owed because a low-class Saiyan Bardock killed Vegeta, so that he kind of let it go. Now, whoa, what about Broly attacking? Paragus will not allow Broly to attack nobody, and Bardock knows this because with Broly's rage, he will lose control, and that could turn into a whole other issue. That is the reason why Broly is forcibly held back until he learns how to control his power more. Now, Goku would train Broly, but unfortunately, Goku knows that it's too dangerous. He's better off with his son because he knows that Gohan, when he's angry, has a hidden power, but he can control it. He knows that Broly has a similar thing, maybe even greater, but he can't control it. It's just safer doing Gohan. Gohan needs main character energy. Once when Goku and Gohan would then go in, Vegeta has already left. He's already turned into Super Vegeta, basically being the strongest Saiyan at that time, fighting Cell just like before, And unfortunately, Trunks and Bardock would not be able to stop Vegeta from basically allowing Cell to absorb Android 18, becoming Perfect Cell, just like the original timeline. Cell basically bullied everybody around Vegeta's Final Flash, tanked it. Pretty much Trunks going Ultra Super Saiyan, tanked that. Bardock, in anger, would then hit him with a Final Javelin attack. Cell would then brush it off. And Cell was interested that in Bardock's anger, he grew even stronger with Vegeta and Trunks. He would then spare everybody, doing the Cell games in the similar time frame. They're roughly about 10 days or so. If you train, then I'll start up the Cell games. Strongest fighter in the world, just like the original. Now, Goku and Gohan would then step out, and they would stay the full year. Now, before they left a couple months earlier, this time they're staying the full year, so Goku can master the Super Saiyan form. Gohan was able to unlock Super Saiyan much quicker than the original, as it only took Gohan roughly a few days inside the Room of Spirit and Time to actually learn how to use it. And quickly, he was able to adapt to it and master it faster than even Goku could. Gohan's potential is even higher. Mixing with the S cells that he has is even higher too, because he's an Elite Saiyan. Gohan is pretty busted. Gohan, by this point, at the end of the year, has already far surpassed his father, and he's already tapping into the powers of an ascended Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyan 2. But it's hard for him to do it, and there's a small chance that he can't, and he needs to be really angry to do it. He needs to be pushed to his limit. This is already a lot higher, since Gohan could never even tap into Super Saiyan 2 at all unless he was pushed past the limit of mental and physical. Once when they do all step out, everybody was in awe with how strong Goku was. As there was another turn, as Bardock and Piccolo would actually go in there together. Bardock and Piccolo became pretty good because they still have the stoic nature, the quiet nature. They would then actually become good friends and good rivals in a way. Now, Piccolo and Bardock, since Piccolo does not need food, he can just drink water, he's fine. They would then stay in there for a year, stepping out on their own. Now, Bardock has gotten very strong, not as strong as his son, and Goku even taught him a cool trick, as he basically whispered to his dad, stay in Super Saiyan for as long as you can in there, learn to master it. Bardock understood, and Piccolo's a master at ki control too. Bardock has mastered Super Saiyan fully, and not to mention the fact, he's a little bit weaker than his son Goku by a little bit, and him and Piccolo are a little bit similar in strength. Piccolo's a little bit weaker than Bardock, but and they're all roughly similar. They're a little bit stronger than Vegeta and Trunks, but they're weaker than Goku, and a lot weaker than Gohan. Gohan is far stronger than Goku is. Once when they all meet up for the Cell games, taking a break and enjoying time. Peace was finally for a little bit, as the next couple of days would then pass on, the Cell games would then begin. With Cell now being fully prepared to go, Goku would then step up first, because he wants Gohan to see how Cell fights. Bardock already saw that plan right all the way through, and he thought to himself how smart that was. As Bardock would then have a vision hit him, he would then close his eyes holding his head, as he can then see something terrible happen. Bardock knows what he has to do, but he keeps it quiet now. Bardock sees that his son would then sacrifice himself to defeat Cell, but Bardock's not going to let this happen. He will not let his son die. But Bardock keeps it to himself for now. Vegeta would notice that Bardock acted weird. He keeps quiet. He knows that Bardock has these visions. Hopefully it's a good one. Goku would then fight Cell, trading blows back and forth. Goku, actually being a lot stronger than he originally was actually able to fight Cell really well, forcing Cell to go to his full strength. Cell would begin overpowering Goku, and Goku would then give up. Goku could fight Cell harder, but he knows not to push it. He wants Gohan to step up. Gohan, now powering up to his full strength, would actually fight Cell on even terms, even surpassing Cell in terms of strength. Overpowering Cell, Cell was amazed how strong Gohan was. Gohan would then fire a Kamehameha wave, hitting Cell, blasting him almost to atoms. This shocked everybody, but then Cell fully regenerated, only coming back stronger. He basically had one of those little Zenkai boosts. Broken. As he would then attack Gohan again, overpowering the Unsane. Goku would then tell Gohan to snap, to let it all go. Let all of your power out, Gohan. Come on, Gohan. You can do it. Unless you want Cell to destroy everybody? Gohan would then have visions of imagining Cell hurting his friends. Just what his father has trained him for. Gohan would then tap into the power. Bulking up in muscle size, his hair would then stand up fully straight. Electricity would then spark around him. Gohan is now transformed into the Super Saiyan 2. He would then attack Cell, easily overpowering him. Fortunately, Gohan gets cocky, just like the original, wanting Cell to suffer for what he's done. Goku would then tell him to kill him now. If he doesn't, then Cell could do something dangerous. Gohan would then punch Cell so hard that Cell would then spit out Android 18, so Krillin has a wife. Cell would then, in terrified, he would then begin swelling in size. And we know that originally Cell's blast would completely destroy everything, but we'll get to that in a minute. As Goku doesn't know what to do, maybe he can grab Cell and maybe try and fly him somewhere. There's nothing else that they could do. Bardock does have a trick up his sleeve. He would then grab his son by the shoulder and tell him how proud of him he is, and how proud he is to call him a son. Proud of a father he made. Bardock states that he's done a lot of bad things and that he will survive. He tells his son that he is the future. He should have died against Frieza all those years ago, but the fact that he didn't and he's here was for a reason. He already saw the future. He knows that his son will reach powers that of gods, which kind of make Goku a bit weirded out. Y'all know what reference I'm getting to. Bardock would then state that your power will breach that of the gods one day. We'll see. But your time is not now. Mine is. For now. I'll probably see you again. Bardock would then grab Cell, gently touching his stomach, as Bardock would then summon a massive key barrier around Cell to levitate him off, learning some abilities. Bardock would then look at his son and smirk, as he would then tell him goodbye. Bardock would then fly using all of his Super Saiyan power, creating a barrier around him and Cell, so that way they can go out in space. And Cell was not being touched, he was just being floated up by gravity. It would then fly out into space, as Bardock would then fly full speed into the sun. I mean, originally the sun would be destroyed because Cell would destroy it all, but the sun vaporized them before Cell could explode. So, now that Bardock and Cell are dead, everybody was completely upset. And Cell was actually fully destroyed, or was he? There was a very small little cell left from the sun's destruction that floated up in space. Remember how Cooler somehow survived? As a little piece of Cell was able to remain. Cell was able to regenerate back, arriving back with Gohan. The two would then have their kind of beam off just like the original, but Goku was here with his son this time. All of the Saiyans would then go behind Cell, firing their attacks at him, distract him, even Vegeta, Piccolo, and the others. Goku would then get in front of Gohan, putting his hands right around Gohan's hands, firing a Kamehameha of his own, screaming, as Bardock would then appear next to them, almost in an astral form, telling them that they're not done yet, as they then fired the family Kamehameha wave. Bardock would then fire his own blast as well. All three of them would then scream through the three different generations, hitting Cell full force, as Cell would then be completely disintegrated. Cell was gone. Gohan would then fall alongside with Goku, completely exhausted. Peace was finally brought back to Earth as everybody cheered. Gine cried looking up at the sky as her husband sacrificed himself for everybody else. And the fact that they could use the Dragon Balls for now. As once when they do summon the dragon, they do wish back everybody that Cell in the end killed. Before they do that, they then tried wishing Bardock back. But before they did that, Bardock would then tell them no. Bardock would then state that he's going to stay up here for a little while, if that's okay, as he met some cool teachers. Not to mention, too, there's plenty of people that he can fight. And Goku will say that, well, Kami can always bring him up there, he can always visit if he wants. Bardock's fine with that. Bardock states that there's a lot of strong people up here that he wants to learn from, and actually, they're pretty strong. And if he could somehow go to hell and kill Frieza again, that'd be pretty cool, too. Goku would understand, and they'll let Bardock stay up there for now, so he can kind of learn and grow stronger, but he will be back, promises Gine. So, then there was 7 years of peace. Peace was finally restored to Earth. Now, Gohan, would he continue training? Yes. Gohan was raised around Saiyans a lot more. Chi-Chi would still keep him have a little bit of an education, but yeah, Gohan would be influenced way too much. Now, Gohan might get with some of the Saiyans that were there, but I personally think that Gohan will probably still get with Videl just to make it easier, but that's later on. They all look at Gohan like they're one giant family. Now, Goku being alive, no Super Saiyan 3, nothing like that, no fusion dance, or unless from what we know of. Now that Vegeta can fight Goku whenever he wants, not really too angry about being pride broken, so that's a bit dropped too. There was finally peace until one day they all arrived for the tournament, and majority of the Saiyans did come as well, as they want to fight fighters too. Massive one. And a Supreme Kai would then be there. And that is it for this one, if you guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have made it this far, right here to this video, comment down below with the word Major Dragon. And I know it's my name, I'm sorry. Comment down below, Major Dragon. I made it to the end of the video, because I hope you guys enjoyed this video being over 40 minutes long, one of my longest videos ever. I wanted to fit a lot to this part, and I also wanted to fit the Saiyans and everybody else, because if you guys listen to the last part, my microphone was cutting out acting weird, but I was able to actually kind of fit in Bardock in them because it cut to when Planet Vegeta was destroyed, not Frieza doing it. So that's the whole reason. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Let's get to the next part of the video. So 300 likes to 20,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you all later.